it's Liz Yuille from Old Stables Crafts. Thank you for joining me again today. As you probably know, I am a UK-based independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, but if you don't, now you do. Today I am going to show you the little gift that I have sent my customers this month. Hopefully by the time you see this, they will have received it. I've got lots of these boxes. This is just a selection, and it contains 3 little Easter bunnies, because obviously we have Easter coming up here. So I thought these would be a fun little gift. They're eminently postable because they will go through as a large letter. You do need to worry about weight, but apart from that, from a thickness point of view, they are large letterable. And there's this lovely little peephole where you can see the bunny's face. The chocolates I got from Sainsbury's, they are milk chocolate bunnies, and they just come in a bag. I've got more because I've got more I need to do. Running out of time. I'm filming this before on stage, and I'm hoping that I will be able to get these in the post before I go, because I leave tomorrow first thing, and fingers crossed these will be in the post by then. So let me show you how I made them. They are based on the Gingham Gala set. So I'm using gingham paper and the gingham flowers. So let me grab some card. I'm on a balmy blue session at the moment. So scoreboard at the ready. You can get 3 of these out of one pack or one sheet of cardstock. So 8.5 by 11 or standard A4, international A4, you will be able to get 3 of these out. So my cardstock is cut at 4 by 7. What I would suggest you do to cut these is start. Let me grab a piece of cardstock. That would have been sensible, wouldn't it? Let me grab another piece of balmy blue. So what I did was do my first cut at 7. And then do my 4s, because whether you're 8.5 by 11 or international A4, you've got more than 8 inches, so that works. So do your 7, and then they use this bit to do a 4 by 7 piece. So that is how you get your 3. So with the narrow side at the top, you score at 1/2 inch, and I'll give you the dimensions in a moment. 1/2 inch, 1 inch, 3 inches and 3.5 inches, and then twizzle round and do 1/2 inch, 3 1/4, 3 3/4 and 6.5. Now this is symmetrical, so it doesn't matter whether, when you've done this, it doesn't matter whether you go that way or that way. You end up with the same, with a symmetrical scoring, which is quite useful to know. So I have only used designer series paper on the front of the box because it's got a definite front. You can put it on the back as well, but I haven't. What I have done though is pre-cut some designer series paper. So let's start with the size of the box. That would be helpful, wouldn't it? So the box is 2 3/4 inches by 2 inches by 1/2 inch. So I've cut my designer series paper at 2 5/8 by 1 7/8, and I'm actually going to adhere that now because I want the glue to be dry. I want the glue to be full, that would be nice. I want the glue to be dry before I punch the circle. So I'm not using a huge amount, but I am using glue rather than tape runner because I want it to be well and truly stuck. But I'm only using a thin layer. And that is quite, let me just show you how much I am using. So it's not a huge amount. And then just pop that on to the glue. And I found that because I'm only using 1/8 of an inch spare, I find it much easier to put the glue onto the card than onto the designer series paper. And then just burnish that down. And then you can do your standard scoring or burnishing and all that good stuff. So just burnish all of the score lines. Just be careful when you're going over your designer series paper that you don't jolt it. Right, okay, so I'm actually going to do this in a slightly odd way. So this is where my designer series paper is. I'm going to just very carefully mark that that's where that is, so that I know. It won't show because it's on the inside. So the first thing I'm going to do is actually cut away. Well, actually, these bits are going to cause for my flaps, so I need that to be straight and that to then be wedged. And that to be straight and that to be wedged. And then I'm going to do a wedge in there because that's going to be our seam. And then the first thing I'm going to do is cut all of this piece away and all of this piece away. And the reason I do that is because as this looks the same from every possible angle, it's much easier for me, it's not terribly straight, it's much easier for me to do the big cut first, so that I then know that everything else is what I would call a small cut. So that's where we're starting from. So I've just wedged in here. Oh, I haven't done a very good job of getting rid of that bit. I've just wedged in slightly here and here and at the ends, and then got rid of all of that. And then what's left, I'm just doing fairly normal kind of little flappy wedge bits. Still haven't got that trimmed away nicely. There we go. So straight down the rectangle and then get rid of the score line. And then we're going to get rid of those bits and then wedge straight down the rectangle, cut away the score line, straight down the rectangle, cut away the score line. So I'm filming this ahead of time, frenetically busy, getting ready for swaps and all that good stuff on stage and team gifts and stuff like that. So we are allowed to share, sorry, while I'm yakking, I'm going to round the corners because these are going to be kind of flaps. So we are allowed to share everything that we see in the next few days, with the exception of the inside of the catalogue. So I will be doing so, assuming my brain is in gear and I actually remember. So on my business page and on my VIP page, I will be sharing all sorts of bits and pieces. So do have a look. Right, so, and that starts on, well, we've got centre stage, the leadership group have got centre stage on Friday evening, and then we've got the main event on Saturday, which is the 13th of April, and it's a full day event, and I will be sharing as much as I can, as early as I can. Right, 3/4 inch hole punch. I folded the flap in, and I'm coming in from, doesn't actually matter whether you come in from this side or this side, and then just by eye find the middle and punch, and that gets your little peeky hole. Then grab some more adhesive. Again, I'm going for adhesive because I've used adhesive everywhere else. You could use tear and tape for this. I would not use snail because this is card to card. So, oh no, did I wedge that? Yes, I did wedge that. So just fold that over and press that down. Now, while that is drying, I'm going to grab a piece of, it's just an offcut from my when I cut my card bases. And I've got from the Your Inspiring stamp set this Happy Easter. I've used this with another Gingham Gala project that I did a couple of weeks ago. I love this stamp set, whether it's for birthdays or whatever. I just think for anything spring, it's perfect. Now, somewhere I have buried, oh there it is, not buried, my Daffodil Delight ink pad. And I'm just going to ink that up, stamp it down like that, pop those to one side, and then just get that to be properly dry. I'm bringing in the classic label punch, and it just fits nicely in there. Punch it out, and that's your label for the front. Grab some of the sequins that go with the gingham paper, and I'm using the flowers rather than the ordinary sequins. These are self-adhesive, so it makes it terribly easy because you just pick them up and pop them down. I've packed my take-a-pick tool because we do have to take a small quantity of crafting materials with us. Not much, but just a few. So everything is packed up and pretty much ready to go. So I thought I would jump on and whoops, and show you how I made this. Then pop this on the front without the fluff. Cat hair gets everywhere. Pop this on the front of your box and to one side. If you pop it to one side, then it's obviously not meant to be in the middle, and therefore it won't look as if it's not in the middle, if you see what I mean. Right, so then fold in your base and pop your bunnies in. So 1, 2, oops, 3 little bunnies. And they do, I mean, they move around a little, but it's just a cute little project, and there's its little face peeking through. So, a few more to make. Hopefully they will be done and out before I go to on stage. Thank you very much indeed for watching. If you don't already subscribe to my YouTube channel, there is a button in the bottom right hand corner. If you're in the UK and would like to shop with me, there is a link to my online store in the description bar below and over on my blog, and the dimensions for this project as well as some close-ups are also on my blog, which is linked below. If you look for the link that says associated blog post, it will take you straight to this project. If you would like my newsletter, you can subscribe to that over on my my blog, so there's a form to fill in, so that would be great. When you shop with me, please do remember to use the host code. If your order is under £150 and over £20, use the host code. That also is below. For every £30 you spend with me in any one order, you receive a sunflower voucher, and when you have 10 of those, you can exchange them just by sending them back and asking for up to £30 of product of your choice. And that's from any of the current catalogues, not from the clearance rack or limited offers, because that gets kind of difficult with timing. So thank you very much indeed for watching, and I hope to see you again very soon.